everybody, it's Karen. How are you? I wanted to answer a question somebody asked me yesterday. I was talking about the mental illness of alcoholism and how it's all mental, right? And they asked me, what does that look like? Is that like anxiety, depression, bipolar? What does that look like, that kind of mental illness? It can look like a lot of things. Just like any mental illness, it can sometimes cross over into other things. But basically, I'll give you an example. When I used to do the admissions at the treatment center, I would get phone calls from people, and they would say, "Hi, I think I need help." And I'd say, "What's going on?" And they say, "Well, I'm suffering from anxiety, and I have depression, and I've been diagnosed as bipolar." And I would say, "Well, all of those things are actually alcoholism." They can be alcoholism. Sometimes people can recover from alcoholism and start treating their alcoholism, and those things go away. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you need other meds. But it definitely, looks like that. When you are suffering from alcoholism untreated, it can look like manic. It can be bipolar, which is really, to me, just alcoholism. It can look more like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. It can look like narcissism. The common characteristic is extreme selfishness and self-centeredness. So that can bring on paranoia because you're thinking about you, and everybody's looking at you, everybody's in your business, everything, people are bugging you, everything's about you, right? And so the mental illness also means that the way I think about things as an alcoholic addict is completely different than the way you think about them. And I don't know how to explain that, but my thinking is different. I think differently. It doesn't make sense. Like, for instance, if you totally burned down your life drinking, lost everything, your family cut you off, you lost your job, you lost your house, they came and picked up your cars, you were unemployable, you were sick from drinking so much, but you kept drinking, and you were homeless because of it, you probably would quit drinking. Right? Now, let's take it a step further. Let's say that you did quit drinking and you started getting your life together and everything started coming back together and everything was great. You probably wouldn't start drinking again. Well, I would. For me, somehow, that makes sense to me. I'm not a well person. I don't think about consequences. I'm very delusional, so I see things the way I want them to be, not the way they really are. I can rationalize and justify anything that I want, and it's at the detriment to others and myself. It's almost like a slow suicide attempt. That's what it is. So my thinking is not the same. If I told you, what I really want is I really want to go to Hawaii, and I would be so happy if you took me to Hawaii and we could spend Christmas in Hawaii. And you take me to Hawaii and we get there and I'd say to you, I think we should have gone to Fiji. See, normal people be like, oh my God, we're in Hawaii, this is going to be fantastic. An alcoholic mind is never satisfied. Something's always better over there. Something's always wrong with what I've got. And I'm going to blame somebody else for it. So it's a very unusual and unique disease that centers around self-centeredness. It's a constant look inward. And it's very similar if you see people on the street. They're thinking about themselves. They're talking to themselves, right? Everything is about them, their stuff. They got it all in bags. They got it all in a cart. Don't ever try to touch their stuff. And then they take it all out and they look at it and they organize it, very kind of OCD. They put it all back in the cart. Then they take it back out and look at it again. I mean, that is very similar to alcoholism, especially mine. Of course, there's different degrees. Not every alcoholic is like that, but you can see the similarities. Anxiety, depression, paranoia, panic attacks. It's just, and people will treat it however they can. Some people drink, some people do drugs, some people cut, some people have eating disorders. I believe it's all the same kind of mental illness that needs an answer. Some people gamble, some people shop. It's whatever I can do to make myself feel better. I cannot stand the way I feel. The best way for me to feel good is to think about someone else, is to help someone else. So if you took me to Hawaii and I was there to help you, then I might be able to enjoy myself. But left to my own devices, I'm not going to do well. Okay, so I know it's a little hard to understand, but maybe that gives you some insight into the thinking of the alcoholic's mind, the way we think and the way we maneuver our lives. It's a very unusual disease, and it's the only disease I know of that makes you think you don't have it. Have a great day. Bye.